Kevin Durant and crew in a 7-game series. Much like this, the Grizzlies won Game 3 after splitting the first 2 games in Oklahoma City, but ultimately Kevin Durant with big shots down the stretch and coming through in the end to win the series 4-3. Something that they have talked about, and courtside here amongst the many celebrities, football players, Julio Jones, we saw, Lil Wayne on hand as well. Oklahoma City closed to within 1 at 71-70, but threes by Bayless and Pondexter have increased that margin to 7.
Well, you got to credit Coach Lionel Hollins the confidence to leave 2 bench players in the game here in a crucial Game 3.
10 on the shot clock. Fisher from the corner. Tipped up, Ibaka keeping it alive, but Conley controls. Durant didn't get a touch on that sequence.
Just thinking about rebounding, Kevin Durant has 35 rebounds in this series, none on the offensive end. Kind of a strange number.
Yeah. Bayless by Martin, tough shot. And back comes Jackson.
Good box out there by Fisher on Zach Randolph. Gotta get a. Oh, I thought we had a travel calling a foul there.
Boy, Jackson was intent on making his way to the bucket that time and drew the foul on Mike Conley Jr.
Well, thought he might have taken some steps here as he tries to split Conley and Pondexter. I don't know. Well, how about this? Isn't this the NBA nowadays? You look at the size out on the floor. I mean, Kevin Durant, Serge Ibaka. Gasol's going to come back in. Hollins giving him a couple minutes of rest here. Well, I would assume that we see him being loaded up again in the low post for Memphis on the offensive end.
Tayshaun Prince going to sit down. Gasol back in. So it's Gasol, Randolph, Pondexter, Allen, and Conley Jr. for the Grizzlies.
How about Durant's second half? Just 7 points. 2 for 9 from the field.
16 in the first 2 periods. Allen with the rebound off the Jackson miss. 6-point game. About 5.5 minutes to go. The winner of Game 3 goes on to win the best-of-7 series when it's tied 1-1, 77% of the time. Conley with the pull-up. Way short. Boy. Jackson again to the bucket. The floater good.
Now that reminds you of a Russell Westbrook right there. That's putting some pressure on the defense. Credit Jackson for being aggressive here. Early transition, a good time to get a decent look against this great defensive team.
Back to a 4-point margin. Gasol with the touch, roached in against Durant. He's got the advantage in bulk. The double team coming from Fisher. Conley on the drive. Off the miss, whistle, and it'll come back to the Thunder. Martin hit the deck hard. He's shaken up. Don't forget, coming up on ABC at 8 o'clock Eastern Time, Roy Hibbert and the Indiana Pacers taking on the New York Knicks, as the Pacers have taken home court advantage away from New York by virtue of that Game 1 victory in Madison Square Garden.
Well, Mike Conley, after being so great in Game 2, he's just 3 of 8 for 10 points. That time did a nice job of attacking the closeout, gets to the rim, unable to finish. Memphis offensively really struggling here midway through the floor.
That's going to be an offensive foul on Kevin Durant, who lowered his shoulder into Tony Allen. Actually, they're going to call that on Fisher, pardon me, setting the screen.
Yeah, I thought you were right on Durant, but that was Fisher on a legal pick. As these offenses have really bogged down here in the last 3 or 4 minutes. Nobody able to get anything going.
Randolph goes quick against Ibaka. Got it off that time, and finally got it to fall.
Probably the toughest shot he takes all night long. Gets a fortuitous bounce. Great defense by Ibaka. Just a better shot by Zach. As Jackson, you love the aggressiveness, but boy, you got a Kevin Durant on your team. You got to get him the basketball. This is his time.
Let's see who the Grizzlies go to. Randolph scored on the last possession. Here's Gasol.
Durant on Gasol. I'd like to see Gasol down in the paint.
4 on the shot clock for Zebo. Randolph, the high arcing jumper, no good.
Again,
here's Durant.
Great defense, Ibaka. He's forced Randolph into difficult shot after difficult shot as Durant gets the runner.
Unbelievable touch by Kevin Durant.
And 4-point game. The Thunder right here. That's all you can ask for. Under 4 to go, within 4. Give yourself an opportunity to win, just as they did in Game 2.
By the way, the Grizzlies with 14 fouls, OKC with none.
Get a little more aggressive here. Certainly don't give up anything at the rim.
5 on the shot clock. They got to get busy. Jackson with the steal. Jackson on the move. And it's a 2-point contest. Reggie Jackson introducing himself to Memphis. And a timeout, Grizzlies on the 7-2 Thunder run.
Gee, Mr. October. No. Mr. May. Big time steal and finish. The second-year man acting like he belongs. Good D, good finish. And we're going to have a good finish here in the last 3:03, I can guarantee.